Hello. Now we'll discuss regarding the design of shaft couplings. Now first question come in mind, why the shafts are required and why the couplings are required. Shaft is a power transmitting elements, okay, and couplings are used to connect the two different shafts. Now shaft diameter cannot be increased, okay, beyond the 7 meters, because there are different problems are there of transportations will be there, then it will have a bending and buckling will be there. Now why it is necessary to go for a further increasing the diameter? Now to increase increasing the length, now such can be obtained by doing the couplings. Now for a greater length of the shafts, it also create a problem of the bucklings. It also create a problem in the transportation. Therefore, for such a cases, we are going to use the coupling. Now, coupling, there are different purposes are also there for which the couplings are being used in the machinery, like to provide the connection for the shaft and units that are manufactured separately, such as a motor and a generator, and to provide the disconnection for repair and alteration. That means a motor and generator, these are the two different parts. These will be manufactured by the two different manufacturers. Now whenever they will come to prepare an assembly, okay, now we have to connect these two shafts, and these shafts will be connected or disconnected for the repairing and alteration by using a coupling. Then second one, that is the purpose of a coupling, is to provide the misalignment of the shaft or to introduce the mechanical flexibility. That is to provide the misalignment of the shaft or to provide the flexibility, so that whatever the vibrations will be there, it will be accommodated. Whatever the misalignment will be there, that will be also accommodated. Then next one, to reduce the transmission shocks load from one shaft to the another shaft, okay, that will be accommodated in the coupling. Then to introduce the protection against the overload, we can introduce the protection against the overload. If any problems occur, then there will maybe the failure in the either first of all it should fail the keys, then secondly it will go for a couplings. Then it should have the no projecting parts, okay, so that for the easy for handling. Then there are some of the requirements of the good shaft couplings are there. That is it should be easy to connect and disconnect, because two shafts are there, frequently it is required for overhauling, repair and maintenance. Therefore it should be easy for connection and disconnection. Then next one, it should transmit the full power from one shaft to the another shaft without any kind of losses. As we are going to use the coupling to connect to two shafts having a transmission of power, if there is a losses are there, then it is not suitable. Therefore there should not be any kind of losses, okay, between the couplings. Then it should hold the shafts with the perfect alignment. There should not be any twisting should be there. There should not be any portion of the shaft or gap between the alignment of the shaft. Therefore it should have a perfect alignment. Then it should reduce the transmission shocks from one shaft to the another shaft. This is a good coupling. Then it should not have any type of projections area is there. Now let us see the different classifications of the coupling, how the couplings are being classified into the different categories. That is, the couplings are being classified into the two categories, that is the rigid coupling and flexible coupling. Now what is this rigid coupling? It is used to connect two shafts which are perfectly aligned. The rigid coupling, it is used to connect two shafts which are perfectly aligned, no misalignments is permitted. Then flexible couplings are used to connect the two shafts having lateral or angular misalignment is there. That means flexible coupling will allow the misalignment between the two shafts. Now what are the further classification of rigid coupling and flexible coupling? Rigid coupling furtherly it is being classified in the three category: muff or sleeve coupling, split muff or clamp or compression coupling, then flange coupling is there. These are the three subtype of rigid coupling, that is the muff or sleeve coupling, split muff or clamp or the compression coupling, and the next type is that is a flange coupling. Then subtypes of flange flexible couplings are there, that is a bush pin type of a flexible coupling, Oldham's coupling and universal coupling. Now out of all this coupling we'll try to study and try to design flange coupling and bush pin type of a flexible coupling. Let us see some of the types of coupling. Now first of all we'll see that is a sleeve or muff coupling is there. It is the simplest type of coupling, easiest arrangement, easiest way for the assembly and dismantling is there. It have only three parts, that is the shaft, key and muff. Now generally sleeve or muff coupling is going to use the give head type of key. Okay, now how it will be there? It will have two portions. This is the input shaft, this is the output shaft is there. Now both the shafts will have perfect alignment, the axis will match. Now a give head key will be inserted, a keyway will be available and the muff will be inserted. Okay, then by using hammering operation the perfect alignment will be done by using a key. Now this is the simplest way. We have to design the diameter, then length of the key, width of the key, height of the key and the length of the muff will be there. This is the one more type, that is the compression or clamp coupling is there. This is the part in the muff coupling. What is this? It will have a taper key only. It will have a taper key which is being connected to the shaft by using clampings. Okay, now these are the studs will be available. By using these studs the keys are being connected and the hub is also connected by using a key. Okay, then we have to design the diameter of muff, diameter of shaft, diameter of length of the muff is there. Then also we need to design the dimensions of the key, that is width of key, height of key and the length of the key, and the key will have a taper. Generally it is into 1:100. Okay, this is also one simplest type of key. It is the extension of your muff coupling. Then next type of coupling is available, it is the flange coupling. Now the flange coupling usually applies to the coupling having two separate cast iron flanges. Two flange will be available. It is the perfect type of coupling. It is a part of a rigid coupling, therefore the alignment of the shaft should be perfect. Each flange is mounted on the shaft end and keyed to it. Okay, then faces are turned at the right angle to the axis of the shaft. There are sub types of flange couplings are there, that is unprotected flange coupling, protected flange coupling and marine type of a flange coupling. Now let us see how the flange coupling looks like. Now this is the typical view of unprotected type of flange coupling. What is this? This is the shaft input shaft, this is the output shaft. Now they are going to use a sunk key, means 50% portion of the key will be in the shaft and 50% portion of the key will be in the hub. Now see, this is the portion in the shaft and this is the portion of key in the hub is there. Now this is the hub is available up to this. Then this is the portion of flange is there. Same will be for the output. This is the shaft, hub and flange is available. Now for input and output shaft, the key will be available at 90-degree angle. Now these two flanges are connected with the hub, and hub are connected to the shaft by using a key and keyway arrangement. Now what type of arrangement will be available? This will be the one portion will be available, that is a flange. Now the flanges are connected, these two flanges are connected by using a bolts. Generally 4 to 6 bolts are being used. Now small d is generally the diameter of the shaft, then diameter of hub is generally taken as a 2 times of d, that is the 2 times of diameter of shaft. Then diameter of where the bolts are connected, the diameter d1 is taken as a 3 times of d. Then outer diameter of flange is taken as a 4 times of d. Then the length of each hub is taken as a 1.5 times of d. Then diameter of a bolt is taken as a d1. Then key's dimensions are width of the key w, h is the height of the key, and l is nothing but the length of the keys is there. Now here in unrotated type of flange coupling, each shaft is keyed to the boss of the flange with the countersunk keys, and flanges are coupled by means of the bolts with the help of the flanges. Generally 3, 4, 6 bolts are being used. Now this is the entire thing regarding the couplings, that is the muff coupling, compression coupling, flange coupling and their types. Thank you.